2-0 and they're in a great position to go to the LAN, potentially compete for that £20,000. And Endpoint, if they go 2-0 here, it's going to be a travesty for them.
Yeah, of course, that LAN competing for a lion's share of over £7,000. So a lot of money at stake. A lot for them to achieve, but either way, we know we are getting into things. Of course, we've got the wonderful observing, really highlighting from a top-down perspective what is going to take place. The fountain, ever so fabulous in the daylight, of course.
So, talk about pistols here. CEX or Endpoint, what will they run on their pistols? So, CT pistols, there's quite a few setups you can do. You can play heavy towards B or play retake B, have that boost hell and have 2 players only B, and then have 1 player connector and then 2 players towards A. You can have the aggression towards B short connector, 2 players from A push down connector, 3 players from B push towards B short, and if the T's aren't B short and they're not connector, you know where they are, they're A. So that's if they want to play aggressive for information, but that's quite a rare pistol. We saw Cloud9 putting that out versus SK only a few days ago. What else can CX do? I mean, they could play heavy towards A, have someone push from mid. If there's no one in mid, have the fast rotate towards connector and take control of connector early. Having control of connector on the pistol is so vital as well, unless Endpoint do opt for a rush. Quite a drawn out knife round here. None of these players want to give up their T side. They want the CT side, they want the strong start, and they want to get the ball rolling.
Eventually, Ezio is going to get that right click though, so finds himself the stab that he was so hard set out to find. But it gives us that result, and now we really can drill deep into what we both expect from these teams, but what we know about these teams. Because OFAS, this isn't a map that we would go, we don't expect to see this. This was something we talked right from the get-go and said, OFAS, we want to see this.
So why have CeX picked Overpass? That's the question. And the reason being is, on Overpass, what you want, you have strong entry fraggers towards B short, towards toilets. There's close angles there. You want to have the aggression, especially towards connector. They've got that Brody C. You know, some people say he hasn't quite got the brain yet, but he's definitely got the aim. Such a nice aim on him, and he will play aggressive. He doesn't care if he dies. He doesn't care about his stats. He just cares about the round win. So, similar to a Freakazoid in that sense. They've got him to push B short or wherever, and obviously you've got the strong AWP on Smooya. That's why they've picked this, and actually speaking to the players, they'd say this is their most comfortable map. So, as I mentioned, heavy towards A, and they're going to get the information. They spot this player in mid, and actually Cinder takes down Imi, so that's going to be a lot harder now for the CT side to hold. But Ezio, he's on the flank, spots 2 players, will get headshot. Actually gets 2 headshots. It's the 1-man lead now already for Endpoint.
Does give Thomas an opportunity to just keep on pushing and try and find the quick trades, and so far so good. He's going to be securing the job on towards Aaron Smooya with a quick second on towards Max, and this now puts Endpoint back in a bit of a predicament. They have got a player over towards Long, but well, by technicality, I'd say he's pretty damn stuck. Just 5 HP.
He's headshot though. This is the problem, and he will go down, and if he does go down here, having that little bit of battle there. Yeah, Thomas does land 1 bullet. It's Laza now in the 1 versus 3. He needs to land 3 headshots instantaneously as there is no kit. Does get dinked up. Does go down. So, Endpoint, they opt for the 2-2 aggression towards mid. 2 players mid and 2 players long. The problem is, though, Imi goes down immediately, and that's the problem. If you lose that first player and you make it the 4 versus 5, that's when the trades come out. Yes, we saw Ezio there with 2 frags, but he gets traded, he gets headshot. His teammate with him does die. And once that player mid fell back towards the A site, Smooya took him down. He was the player towards stairs CT. That opens up the A bomb site. Ezio on the flank from long eventually goes down as he was dinked earlier and has no impact on the round after his 2 headshots.
Now in the follow-up round, we are looking at pretty much just a flat-out stack from Endpoint. They're putting
unlucky.
all of their bets on towards the B site, but hey, remind me to play poker with them, as apparently they're quite easy to really mob around the places. Their bet, well, it has failed, but the rotational play may actually at least get them some money back on the table, at least kind of rekindle what they originally lost. As they are starting to move on over, and this could actually be pretty damn strong for them. They've got 4 men left standing in towards that A site. There's going to be 1 to stick towards B, but how much is it actually going to do so far? A bit of a wild spray, but nonetheless the frags to be claimed. Aaron will at least find 1 for his troubles, but is that going to be it? Laza really the man to keep an eye on. He can pretty much stop this round from getting going in terms of this plant, but again, it is just going to be 1. Unfortunately, arithmetic right now points to Endpoint as doing some damage, but it's nothing really too crazy.
So the standard T default then when you're playing versus the anti-eco is to have 3 players long, 1 mid, 1 connector, have the Molotov off towards tree, flash over long, peek towards long, slowly take control of long and toilets. You saw Cinder there getting the first frag in toilets with his Mac 10, stacking up that cash, and Endpoint, they lose the force buy, and now when they go into this first gun run, they're not going to have the Molotovs, they're not going to have the full utility, and that could pay dividends for them later on. And once again, oh my goodness.
Seriously, we need to play poker with these guys, apparently. This is just not really working out too well for them. It is that same sort of storyline of eventually they try and kind of rehash the mistakes, but it is that sort of 1 guy and then 4 kind of somewhere else spread out. And right now, with the bomb ticking on away, yes, they can try and create, you know, some sort of...
to take some AKs out of the hands of the T side.
It's so difficult.
They need to make sure they don't die to the Mac 10 as well, that's really important. The AKs pick up the frags. P250 as well to chime in. Smooth does get the 600. Sorry, Thomas does get the $600 there from the SMG. Max only the USP to his name. Does think up one, but we'll go down to Resit. It's gonna be a 3K for him in that round. The first buy round. Now, taking a look at the CT money, they will not have the Molotovs. Lazar will have the AWP. That is important, obviously. Will he play towards connector, try to get a first strike there, try hold connector, and make it a lot harder for the Ts to work off that? When you don't have control of connector, it's hard to rotate from B to A fast, and does make the Ts go for the long rotates instead, or will he go towards mid and try and take control of that? Obviously, the long angles when you're playing toilets, peeking towards party, peeking towards mid, or even go long, take control of that. But this is going to be a fast B.
Yeah, they're just going to be barreling their way out there, trying to really pierce their way on towards the site. Already more than happy to kick off the party with a frag on towards Aaron, and this is a bloodbath as Cinder connects it on towards Max, and one by one, they seem to be falling, but Imi, he's looking to claw himself back into this party, looking to at least put up a bit of a fight. We'll find one for his troubles. Well. The open plant, it's risky, but the smoke,
and now they can just give up Monster. They don't care about that. They don't care if any players on the flank, and Endpoint at this point, they're just going to opt for a save. And why have CeX gone for that B play? The reason being, Endpoint forced in their second round, and that means there's going to be no Molotov for Monster. If there's no Molotov Monster, you can have the B rush. CeX realizing the economic state of Endpoint. Brody C, I mentioned before, he will just run at you. He doesn't care. He doesn't care if he dies and gets traded, but being that pure entry, runs at Monster, gets the headshot to Aaron. Aaron dies barrels. Cinder there flashes himself from B short, takes down Max. That was playing water, and the B bomb site is CEX's.
Almost felt like they were somewhat forced into a bit of a reactionary style as well, because once that site was claimed, Imi, he tried to make the best of things by
you have to make a play somehow
doing work. But unfortunately, his position, it enables him to find one, potentially even two. But to be honest, once you find that first frag, it's fairly easy for the T side just to swivel on around and pretty much kind of have all of their lines just laid out on towards heaven. This
could be a bloodbath now for CeX. They can really take this game into their hands. I mean, if they win this force by here, 6-0 on the T side already. I mean, as I mentioned before, CeX, this is their most comfortable map. This is potentially their best map. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that on stream. Coming into their next games, I don't think teams are going to really want to play this versus them. But anyway, Brody C again with the entry onto barrels. Actually, Imi and Max there getting the Dixon, getting the frags. Must be Cinder trying to trade, but Brody C, the trade game goes in favor of CeX. But they're such low HP, and the kits, and the Molotovs, and the HE grenade. That could just be it. Kobe coming in. Takes down both of them. Ezio takes down two of the nade. It's going to be 1-4 now in favor of CeX.
Endpoint. Not quite poker players, but apparently basketball go for them.
Kobe!
It is around on the board though, so jokes aside, this is pretty much
important. They need to win this now as well, because 2 players staying alive for Endpoint means they're going to have to rebuy on 3 players. If Endpoint lose this, I mean, imagine the same thing happens again. They rush B. They opt for the save, right? If you save and you have 2 guns, if you're Endpoint and you save 2 guns, it's so tempting just to force like Endpoint just did there. If they lose that, this game could be really going in CX's favor. But Endpoint, if they can claw back some rounds here and aim for 9, aim for 8, and then win the T pistol, still in their favor.
Looks like CeX though are seeing a whole lot of red. They are out hunting for their prey as Thomas is going to be there to find the first. They push dead set through the smoke. Cinder there to find the frag on towards Aaron just to punish that maneuver. As Max will at least find one in return from short, but it's all about this counter map control right now for the CT side. But are they going to be able to deny the bomb plant? That is what they are looking to achieve.
He needs to make the play right now. Oh, he actually gets cold feet and decides to go away. But actually, have you not heard the flash from... My goodness.
They almost certainly know he is there from the start of the round.
And he gets him through the smoke. Anyway, this is 2 versus 3. Make that 2 versus 2. Luz on 1 HP. The kit flashes and smokes come out. And Max maybe going to try go for that ninja, but I think he's stuck on a wall.
He's not quite sure what he's looking at this point. Eventually going to push it up. Should be able to find this frag. Nearly makes it, well, to be a bit more of an interesting one, but the frag will be secured nonetheless. The Tech9 looking to shut this one down. Smooya through the smoke. And now just looking for just one more, but Luz, he's sneaking this. He's ever so comfortable. The knife getting whipped out, and he's making this work. This is insanity. Eventually, Smooya will find the knife kill, but it's all but too late. The defuse, it was found seconds before.
Only in UK would you see a round like that. What on earth was that? I don't even know what to say. Honestly, I don't know what to say. I couldn't tell you what happened.
I feel like we need to let just a breath of fresh air just take the stream for a second.
I'll give it a try. Aaron there, he pushes through the B short smoke. Obviously, he hears the players going out through Monster. Tries to get an early frag there to try and weaken the T attack, but actually Aaron hit, does get another frag, but he's low HP, so it could be traded out, and yes, he will be. Thomas there gets the trade, but Imi with 2 frags from barrels. Thomas there gets another trade frag. It's the 3 versus 2. Why is he just nading his teammate?
So you're just going to make it happen with the nade eventually. It will be the spiral of control on the B site. Snods, he's a confused man. The hands have been slammed onto the desk, but nothing can quite explain what we are witnessing so far. Luz going to miss a simple shot.
You have flashes and you white face, and you know Luz has got the AWP. Mate, I don't know what I'm watching. Honest to God, I do not know what I'm watching.
Is there... again, I want to rehash this into something that is not quite just frustration, not quite...
Hashtag UKCS.
Not quite feelings.
Rehash from this.
Wow. Let's roll into our 8th round then. Let's look forward into the future. Is it going to be the never-ending black pit of UKCS coming back to haunt itself, or are we going to see some solid plays in this round?
So Mac-10 there for Cinder. He's going to be playing aggressive towards Connector. Close range there, the Mac-10 trying to get a few early frags and get some information as well. Even if it goes down, when there's 2 players connected, those 2 players are the A players, so A will be up for grabs from the T side. Actually, Imi there, 2 Deags. 2 Deagle kills there. And actually that gives a signal now. You see the T players pushing up towards Long and Toilets. Already see going for the smoke. Might not be expected as well. The bomb will be taken and they will go towards A, but the CTs, they are on the early rotate.
Yeah, they rotate. It is going to be, what is that hand there? Just jogging away, going out for a nice and comfortable run. The flash is going to pop on towards the side, so they do have an inkling that they are already going to be present. And Esko just gets another free headshot on towards Rezu. The sigh of relief ever so present at this point as Thomas will fly on in, trying to do the work, aided by Brody, and things will start to get knocked back down again. This is almost certainly going to be winnable, but they have to play it flawlessly.
They're
going aggressive. They're going to drop down on towards the B side, and
So
at this point,
smart.
with 50 seconds left, they have so much time to work with. And there's no response Endpoint can make. Yes, we can see some sort of quick rotate, but they don't really have the time. So
Max needs to find 1 frag here, maybe even 2 sprays. Thomas, but doesn't quite connect it. Actually does connect onto Brody C. It's going to be the 1 versus 2 now. 1 kill to my Max. Thomas gets the early frag, but does he expect the player coming towards Monster?
This deagle from Emmy could pretty much make or break this round. The initial pick is what he's looking for. He has swapped out towards the Mac-10 now, and ideally this is exactly what he was looking for. Just 11 HP on Thomas. That is the name that he is really much running around with. He has been spotted out on Thomas. Not even going to expect it, so we have ourselves our response. The defuse, it's going to be long, but it will be found. A rifle in the back pocket of Imi. But nonetheless, it's all about playing for those rounds, and Endpoint, they have themselves a foothold once and for all.
I feel like the reply should have been quicker from CeX. You spot 2 players in Connector. You know Imi's... Actually, was Imi playing towards B earlier on in the rounds? Not quite too sure, but anyway, you spot 2 players Connector. That usually telegraphs that there's no one A, or even if there is 1 player A, there's only 1 player, so you can easily trade them out. 3 players there in Toilets. Instead, Brody C opts for that late aggression towards Connector. Doesn't quite get the bomb down early enough, but you saw what happens as well when it was the 2 versus 2 or the 2 versus 3. The T's, they opted to play together, very smart, as they got the trade onto Ezio. They took him down and they realized there's no one B, so they go through CT, go underground, get to B, bomb goes down, but unfortunately for them, Mighty Max on that fast rotate catches off 2 players and wins the round for them.
Yeah, so the man to seal the deal. But it is just 1 man, and we need to see team play come out up trumps to really make this one work. Of course, a lot of time for this T side to work within the context of this round. They are slowly but surely building up to what feels like currently an unknown destination, because they could hit towards Long, but at the same point I look at this right now and go, they could easily almost just rotate back in towards Connector off the back of just how much time they have. So let's see if they can find a pick. That really is kind of
Lazar
a gesture
needs
towards.
to find the picks here. I mean, they have decent utility, 3 Molotovs, flash and a smoke, 2 smokes there, so they could potentially play a retake, but I feel like Endpoint here, they need 1 frag early, and if Smooya finds his pick onto Ezio or Lazar, it's not be looking good for them.
He is going to be bearing right down on towards Ezio, that player that you
so risky
mentioned, and this is risky, but it also could bear a huge dividend. The Thomas can be there to seal the deal again. That same ever so present factor of now the AWP and rifle, they will come up trumps eventually. Emi there to seal the deal on towards Cinder, and it seems to be the ever so almost repetitious style. As backwards and forwards things will swing, but Thomas, a 1v2, that is what he's up against. Slowly but surely going to keep on towards the site, looking for the frag on towards Castle, and nearly gets the spray transfer, but Max with the UMP will do what is required. Steps up that plate when dearly needed, finds the 1v1. And we are starting to see a bit more of a fight, of course,
2
for
rounds in a row
Endpoint.
now as well for Endpoint.
Well, back and forth in 2 different portions, right?
The thing is, they won a 1 versus 1 of the previous round they won, and now they've just gone through another 1 versus 2, so their money, even though they've won 2 rounds in a row, it hasn't been looking, their economy isn't looking too good for them. So if CeX win this, they could reset Endpoint there and get 2 free rounds, and actually, they might opt for a B rush.
Yeah, it's almost setting up to be a bit of a slaughter at this point. It's PSG more than happy to fly on out, but unfortunately, it's not quite going to go off the handle, and well, it's going to be back down to these rifles to really bring the ante and bring the firepower.
They need early frags here. This is the problem. Even if the bomb goes down, they will have no map pressure towards short or anything. They only have Monster to their name, and only having control of Monster isn't really going to work. Resi, though, actually catch the gap in this one. He takes that one. He could even get a second here. Does get a second. No, he doesn't. Imi gets the second frag for him this round, and Lazar there will rotate towards Heaven, and there is no smoke Heaven, even though they have smokes and utilities. So if the early pick can come out here as well, this could be a 3 versus 1, and in fact it is. And Smooya, though, if there's 1 man you want and there's 1 versus 3, it's him.
He's a player to hype up in this sort of scenario, but something makes me feel like he's been a bit repetitive, a bit like myself. He's almost kind of channeling that at this point, as he's going to be stuck.
Runs with the bomb out as well. Does not expect Lazar there at all.
There's not really too much he could do at that point once you spot that on out. Eventually it leads us back to this point of that 5-5 scoreline. And this is much more claimable for Endpoint. But in the same regard, a lot of these rounds that Endpoint have won have been down to these singular plays. Only just a second ago have we actually saw them win around as what could be maybe considered a justifiable team.
Yeah, I'll say that. But at the end of the day, it's 5-5 right now, and CeX, they're going to be very happy with 5 rounds already on the board for them. Only 10 rounds in. Can they get the early pick up to Lazarus? Low HP does get taken down. Ezra needs to find 2 kills here, otherwise it's not looking too good for them. Finds 2, can he get a third? Gets the spray down, but Cinder will trade him.
These trades are still exactly what they're looking for, though, in terms of actually getting themselves on towards the site, because now they don't need to even push. They can play this one slow. They can reset and then decide to go back again for the re-aggression, the re-initiation. As they are going to be spreading themselves back over towards Connector, looking to get some sort of presence in towards toilets. But they have so much time to work with, and Smooya.
Yeah, they can play for picks here. They can play slow. They have control of Connector, so they could even fake an A. But they don't have the utility. They have a smoke on Brody, so they could maybe just throw a smoke onto A, have Brody suicide and play for information. But Mighty Max here jump spotting towards Connector. He will know if they opt to go B, and that's the thing. That's the Connector door open, spots 3 heads, and he gives the call, and now the rotation comes in.
The rotation, yes, it's going to be called. But I'm still looking at CeX right now and going, how long are they going to take? Because the longer they take, the kind of easier it is for the CD side to hold things off. In the same regard, we could also see them try to pry open this round. Find themselves a quick tick. The bomb is going to go down. Yes, they are very, very close, but it's still not quite being converted into a frag. And Aaron, he's going to try and fly on out, tries to find the frag eventually to be making it work. And well, Illy.
Oh, you can't be missing those. Smooya. And misses another flick as well, and he will go down. 3 players staying alive for Endpoint. The defuse comes in, but the bomb does go down for CeX, so the cash is going to be looking fairly strong going into the next round. We will see a AWP onto Smooya in the next round, I believe. So Lazar gets caught off guard early on. He goes for that mid pick, and the thing is, when you go for the mid pick versus the force buy, you've got to be expecting them to be fast in mid if they do opt to go mid. The flash comes in, he gets flashed off, tries to fall back, but the aggression from CeX catches him off guard and he does go down. But Ezio there, such impactful kills. They get 2 in towards toilets and sprays down another player to low HP. Cinder, I believe. So Endpoint, they win the 3 versus 3. Brody C needed to get that kill onto Aaron if they had any chance of winning that round, but he will go down, and now we're looking at the 1 round lead for Endpoint. It's going to be 4 rifles on both, and then the double AWP as well. So which AWP and which players will have the most impact into this round? Let's find out.
It certainly leaves a very open-winded segment, but I've got to say, individual players, they've led us to now Endpoint playing like a unit. CeX starting to look into almost clone that star to get themselves a lot of presence over towards this B site, but they're still looking to really kind of convert this into something that actually works. And Smooya, very risky, but he finds a collateral. That is ridiculous. He makes it work, and that, as you say, completely opens up this round as Thomas finds another frag on towards Max.
You gotta save.
Max
you
is
have
just,
to save.
He's just confused. He doesn't know what took place, and Lazar and Ezio there just, they're going to run for the hills. A save is exactly what they have to deliver. There is nothing they can do. And Endpoint, they're going to be licking their wounds and just going, Smooya?
It's so rare you see an AWP B short as well. It's so risky. You saw what happened where Fallen tried it as well versus nothing. Just got instantly headshot there. And Smooya going for that play. Goes up B short. He loves to play aggressive. His role in this team is to get the first frag. You've got experienced players like Rezu, Cinder. These players have won Lance. These guys are experienced and they know how to play those 3 versus 3s and those 4 versus 4. And Smooya, he does his job perfectly. He finds 2 opening frags at the B bomb site. Mighty Max throws the smoke down, but doesn't expect that player so close. Oh, that's a nice shot there for Lazar. Takes on Cinder. Importantly for them, he will save the AWP, and now Endpoint, they will have enough money to buy it. But CeX, they've already found 6. If they can get any more, they'll be very happy with that. Speechless.
That was a prospect that you don't get to see every single day, but it is just that Smooya effect. I think that is the fairest way to sum things up. 6, the ideal number for a T side for Endpoint. Feels like they need to pretty much pick up every single round now, and it has to be flawless. They can't afford to make any mistakes, and well, they just have to rely on being able to shut down the individual performance.
Brody C pushing alone, that could go down here, but actually does take down Mighty Max, and this force buy from Endpoint, already losing a man and already being at the firepower disadvantage. It's going to be looking too good from the Smooya on short. Gets boosted up onto the sandbags, over that smoke. He just wants to find that first frag, as I mentioned before. Get that 1 kill and have the rest of his players burst onto the site.
It's so risky at the same time though, because they know he's going to be there. As Emmy Will peeking out, finds the frag on towards Rezu. Smooya still sticking this one. He is so comfortable. He's in his element right now. He's just going to park there. Thomas, well, he's trying to force the frag. He's still sitting. He's still holding this one. He knows that Imi is there. So he's looking for that frag. He's hungry for it.
He shot the open. He tagged him as well for 60. And now this attack will come in through Monster, but Imi finds his second, but does get instantly traded out by Smooya. And it's Cinder on the late. Look, they can fall back here and maybe just get cold feet and go back towards A. If they find this frag onto Ezio as well as they rotate, it's going to be looking so good for them. Cinder as well, if he plays it nice and slow, he can get the backstab as well and catch these CT players. Or maybe the CTs could be doubting themselves. Maybe they might be thinking, as you see Lazza early rotating, if they spot Cinder here, you might see more CTs rotating. It's going to be the 2 versus 1 on the B bomb site.
Yeah, there's 2 separate ways this could work, especially if Cinder finds the frag, because now the rotate is going to begin to take place. They've completely given up any sort of hold they had towards the B site. Aaron is going to look to try and trade this one back, but he doesn't even peek his angles. Allows Cinder just another to add to the tally. And can we just talk about how much he's done as an individual again in this round? He's practically won the round towards the latter portion with ease, as there is nothing Ezio can do. He's in a 1v3. He can try and go huge, but the minute he finds one, he should be shut down from a quick second. The team play from CeX should just slam this nail in the coffin. And we're just looking at another round for CeX that's building up. They're going to be at 7, which for a T side of Overpass.
And the thing is as well, Endpoint's money's going to be bad, so they might... Actually, let's take a look at it. So, looking at this CT economy, they're going to opt to save this and have the buy in the last round. So CeX, they will get 8 rounds. They will win this half. And Endpoint, I mentioned, Velox has been kicked. They're playing with Aaron, a stand-in. Luz as well. He's just joined the team only about a week ago, I believe. His first day on the team, he was subbed in when Imi DC'd. So, 1 week on Luzza. Aaron's only a sub for UK Masters. I don't believe he's actually on the team. So, Endpoint CT side, that's where you want to see them get their rounds. I mean, on the T side, it's going to be so much harder for them when they have to play more as a team and less individual skill gets taken into account when you're on the CT side. So, Endpoint now, they need to find that final round. It needs to be 7-8. Otherwise, it's looking like CeX are going to take this.
Well, at least bring it back down to this round where Alcroft looking towards that 15th, but in the 14th, it should be fairly clear-cut. This should just be CeX pushing on in, mopping up these pistols and just making easy work of it. But hey, we've seen pistols be pretty exciting in the past, and well, why not have at least a shred of hope, as Max will at least find one for his troubles eventually. Will get dropped dead. Aaron will find a quick second. But nonetheless, it's just going to be that same old tune coming back to haunt them. CeX in a 3v2. Really not too much left to say. I mean, trying to make the best of things with this Deagle, but it's a package. Well,
it's a nice nade.
Soon to be delivered. The nade. It's smart because it forces him out again, which pretty much just leaves it back towards Rezu. It's like, okay, here's your early Christmas present. Take this one and just run to the hills with it. Ezio,
okay,
he's the last man.
This buy round, what do Endpoint need to do? They need to find aggression early somewhere. They need the first pick. It needs to be a 4 versus 5 in Endpoint's favor. We could see a double long take. Does Luz have the AWP? No. So we could see a double push long. That's usually what you do when you're on the 2 rifles. He actually goes for the glass cannon AWP. He needs to find the first pick. AWP and no armor in a retake is useless. Thing is though, where will he opt to go for his first pick? And he's going to go towards long. Will he post up and play passive? He doesn't really need to be doing this. He needs to be playing more aggressive, I feel. Because if they opt to go B, his AWP's going to be useless.
Well, you talk about if they opt to go towards B. Look at Brody. He's already completely out on towards that site in the lower portion. Ezio will shut him down fairly early on, but Rezu going to try and do a bit of return damage, and he will do the drop required of him, but not before. It is that same old response from Endpoint. Team play working out for them in the CT side when it comes down to this refrag potential. And this does pit CeX in a pretty uncomfortable one, because you look towards this map, and as much as they could try and force their way out on towards this A site,
they have controller connected to this. They can rotate early. If they want to go for a fake towards A, which they can, they have the utility for it, I believe. Yep. 2 smokes and flashes, so they could just fake A and go towards connect and go towards B, or even just do as I said there and play for a pick and then work off that. Wherever they get the kill, hit that site, and actually the option to go for the hard execute and actually push towards this site. Luz has just gone towards bank. It's only Ezio on the site now. If he dies, what is this?
They've overthought it. They've brained themselves. Luz now in this retake with the AWP will find the opening pick. Looking for the second. It's going to hold the cross. And they are just free peeking. They're walking into his crosshair. And they're letting him just have a field day. It's almost like back to aimbots practice. As that's effectively what it was. Smooya, a 1v3.
He can win this though. There's no kill on the CT side.
It's a difficult one for him to try and pull off. But if he set into him, he will miss the opening shot. Goes for the second, not quite able to find it. And eventually, off the back of him being stuck into that corner, he's not able to seal that frag that was so dearly sought after, meaning there is no repeat potential for that second. The clutch meter hits 0 real quick.
The aggression I was speaking about, I mentioned they could go towards too long, but instead they play 1A and 4B. The reason being they have Aaron and another player, I believe it was Mighty Max, not too sure, push B short. And once they had control of B short, you saw what happened. CeX, they were forced to go towards A after Endpoint had taken them taken that part of the map and got those 2 frags there. And obviously in the 3 versus 4, I mentioned Endpoint, they need the 1-man lead if they want to take these rounds. And Endpoint, they find it. The aggression works out for them, and it's going to be CeX at 8, and they're going to be very happy. If they win this pistol, this could be looking very, very bad for Endpoint. Molotov coming out from Imi. This could be a Molotov towards True. Not really too sure. Maybe they might just take it. They might do the all around the world strat, which is where you go mid, down, connected towards B, and that Molotov will go towards barrel.
My eyes are certainly drawn towards Samir at this point, though, as he starts it off with a frag on towards Imi. Rezu now with a second on towards Aaron, but Lazo will at least try and force back the hand, but is it going to be enough? So far, not looking like it's going to be an around the world because they can't even get around as Thomas and Cinder, they will combine. It's going to be headshots. And CeX, they get that pistol round. You pumped it up. You said this was going to be pivotal for them in terms of starting off strong.
Pistols again. I think CeX have won every single pistol this game. This best of 2.
Where does CeX go from this?
Well, to talk about that last round, you saw what happened when the T's tried to go into connector. Smooya found that early pick onto, I believe it was Imi, who had no armor, and that's the problem. When you buy that Molotov, and you want to use it towards B, and you do get picked off early, it's useless, it's futile. So, unfortunate scenes there. Endpoint, their strat does fall short, and now it's going to be the force by coming for them, and if they don't win this force by, CeX could be looking for a strong lead, and Rezu there with 2 frags, one of the SMG, one of the nades. It's going to be the 1-man lead now for CeX. What the hell is Imi?
How do they not know he's there? They should be checking this. Eventually, Rezu will fall, but he nearly got an opportunity.
Only in the UK would you see that.
To do so much work, and, well, perhaps that is true. I don't even know anymore. This has just been a ridiculous night of some pretty interesting CS, suffice to say. But now we are looking at that clock, that timer that is going to keep on ticking down. It's not going to stop for no man. As we're at 1 minute 5, and this T side, they still have a lot of room to maneuver themselves in, but already he's looking to really constrict them. More than happy just to keep on pushing, and this overall short presence on towards this B site makes it pretty damn tough. But Ezio to find that frag on towards Brady with the UMP,
Problem is
give them a little bit more breathing room.
Problem is though, Imi is low HP, only 4 HP on him, so 1 bullet from anything will take him down. But Cinder with the shotgun and low HP, it's actually making it hard for him to get anything out this round, unless they do walk into him.
It's going to be a big one. That shotgun at that sort of range is such a tough one, but he's actually playing this one so smart. He's going to sit there.
And
he gives away the information. Now he looks towards this door. Now, if he finds this frag, he doesn't even need to. He can actually back off and try and get behind them. That would be even more important now as Thomas, looking to bear down from above, finds the first opening pick, looking for the second, maybe even just going to cut off the shotgun from having to do anything at all, and he is just making Cinder's job easy as pie.
Both low though, and obviously Cinder does take him down from behind, has that late lurk towards Monster with that one. That's actually $900 as well, so great investment there coming from Cinder. 3 rounds leading now for CeX, and it's going to be the full eco now for Endpoint. It's going to be 11-7. We saw the exact same happen in the previous game. CeX, they've won every single pistol in this best of 2, and that merits so much for them. As you've seen so far, they always have the lead. They always have the early lead and the early momentum. That's so important.
Feels like a couple of mistakes have really begun to add up.
Here comes the mop.
Endpoint side, and while you talk about this being mop, I'm not even sure if that's justified at this point. Just feels like it's just a steamroller beginning to
loves the RWS there.
Pick up the steam. RWS perhaps is what they are aiming for, because it will at least be one to be foul, but that is going to be it. CeX, they take it in their stride nice and comfortably, and now we're looking to see if this cement will continue.
Wait, there's no AWP on Lazar. He was saving for an AWP in the previous round. I think he bought a pistol. He had 3,000. He had 3,150. I checked. And now he has no AWP. Weird.
A mistake to add on up. Again,
I don't think it's a mistake. Obviously, there was an intention there. Maybe he bought the utility to try and go into that round.
I feel like
without an AWP, they're going to have to play fast. They're going to have to play towards connector. Maybe go for a B short. Get control of connector. Take control of B short. And try and win the round that way. But you see what happened now. The CTs, they pushed up A long and they spotted mid. And now they can push for the flank and take control of connector. And once the CTs have control of connector, have control of mid, they know where the Ts are going to be. And that's when the over-rotations can come in. And you're going to be seeing 3 CX players onto that B-bomb site. It's going to be so hard for Endpoint to win this round.
This was my concern. This is why I wanted that AWP to be in play. And
this needs to not die here.
I can't quite see why you'd want to go for this quick aggression when they are struggling to make it work. But it is going to be the free peek that will allow Ezio to at least frag something up, and looking to take it one step further as he will find the frag on towards Thomas. But look at Cinder, unable to find the pick from above. But does he realize there's a second there to collect? And Aaron is going to be looking to run with that debt and run well and truly home. Still looking at Endpoint though in terms of actually can they get out on towards the site, because of course that bomb, that's going to be the package they're looking to deliver. Brody will fly on out and eventually drop it down, making things a little bit more complex. Ezio looking to push straight in through the smoke. But it is just him, one man in a 1v2. He has got himself a position to work with. Do they even realize he's there? They should know. but even with the jump, it's not quite going to be enough. CeX, they cut it close, but it is still that same ever so repetitive scoreline, 12-7.
Sorry to interrupt you there.
That's fine, go
How
crazy.
is Brody C not traded there? Lazar as well playing towards outside water there at the right side of the pillar. Spots Brody C, but I believe he may have been flashed, I'm not too sure, but didn't get that trade, and Brody C wreaks havoc onto the Endpoint T attack on that B bomb site, gets 3 frags from there and stops that attack, and it's going to be 12-7, and now Endpoint, I think they're on the half bar here, yes they are, so they will be opting to buy for the next round. Maybe going to be forfeiting this one. I mean, Resi needs to find 2 early frags, otherwise it will be the A site, and it still will be the A site, as Resi will be traded. 3 versus 3.
Look from behind them, though, as Azir will look to shut that one dead, and they had the behind push, but it has been completely deleted. Someone has just wiped their drives, as all the data is going to be gone. CeX.
It's winnable.
This is so difficult for them to hold off. Yes, it is winnable, but that's a straw that you're pretty much holding on tight to at this point. Brody, he's going to be looking to go huge. Finds the first frag, drops the bomb, but needs to flick to the right. But he doesn't go. He just sits tight. He holds the passive angle, and he will get punished. He enters his grave. An Endpoint. Is that a lifeline?
Potentially. The thing is, though, Brody C gets the first kill onto that player short, expects another one. Didn't quite hear the footsteps from the players that are on toilets there. Unfortunate scenes for him. Obviously, the CT's playing 2 in connector, and they come out connector versus Tech 9s. Why are you playing the close range battles? If you're CeX, you know you're playing versus pistols. Just play the long game. Play the retake if you have to. You had Molotovs, you had flashes, you had kits. They could have allowed Endpoint to take the B bomb site, the A bomb site, sorry, and played the retake there. Well, unfortunately for them, CeX, they play so aggressive, and it doesn't go in their favor, and Endpoint, they win that round. 4 rounds leading for CeX, but if CeX can take this and reset Endpoint, could be looking at 14-8 already.
It certainly is a big, ever-looming question. And Axe effectively hanging over the head of Endpoint at this point. They know that this round, they need to win at all costs. If they drop this one, they potentially could be saying sayonara to the game. But in the same regard, CeX, we haven't really seen them play up against the wall for a little while now when it comes down to sheer starting firepower at the kind of early portions of these rounds. And in terms of the setup, it is looking pretty damn rough, as already the individual peaks will lead them to some pretty comfortable rewards in terms of map control and overall knowledge. Looks like the weakness may have been somewhat selected over towards this B site.
Smart move here. Smart move coming from the T's. Opting to stay away from Smooth's AWP. They don't know he's there, but fortunately for them, they will go to the B bomb site where he is not. And now it's just an SMG and a rifle to hold this line, and Imi will get the frag, but Brody C needs to find 2, gets down 2, can he find a third? Actually doesn't, gets rid of by Aaron. Luz as well finds Cinder. Smooth in the 1 versus 3. Does he have the confidence to go for this?
This is Smooth we're talking about, so talking
Hopefully
confidence and talking about him, well, they come together as a package, so I wouldn't be surprised if he at least goes for a pick and tries to do sort of some level of damage, but going for it could be a bit of a different
Save
point in itself, and missing that shot should certainly trigger the save, and there you have it. He's going to hop on away, seemingly ever so happy. Because to be honest, even though this is that now kind of almost guaranteed lifeline for Endpoint, CeX, they still have 12 rounds on the board, right? So they're not in a state of frenzy, a state of panic. It just means that they have to well, think a little bit more carefully about the way they want to approach their next follow-up rounds.
Actually, no, I might disagree with that. I mean, yes, they can play it passive and whatnot, and they have the lead, they can play with the lead, but at the same time, when you have a 3-round advantage, that's when you can take risks. You have 3 rounds you can give up, you can play heavy towards one bomb site, heavy towards the other. You saw what Endpoint did on their CT side. 1 player A, 4 players B. That's where you can take the risks, try and take chances. If they get 1 round here, they can reset Endpoint, make their economy low, force one to the pistols. So, will we see the risk coming from Endpoint? No, they don't decide to force. Smooth says the AWP. He needs to find a lot of picks very fast.
Well, seemingly 2 different ways you can go about things. We've covered both sides of the board. We've seen what decision they have taken. Let's see if they can at least make something work in the context of this round. Of course, it is Smooth on the AWP brought over from the previous, but then these pistols. Now, on paper, we shouldn't see these pistols pretty much get anything done, right? You could estimate maybe 1, 2 at a push. But Endpoint, this should be easy for them. But Brody being given a 1v1 peek against the rifle and gets the win.
Importantly here as well, if Smooth doesn't manage to save this AWP, there will be no AWP for CeX onto the next round. But 1-man lead for CeX. Can they find more frags here before the bomb goes down? As they only have a kill from 1 player. It's actually Rezu dinks up. Mighty Max here, but we'll go down. Another frag as well coming out for Thomas. It's a 2. It's actually the 3 versus 3, sorry. Misinformation there from my side. Thing is that we've only got 1 kit and 6 HP and no armor on these players. Actually, another kill for Thomas. A kill from Cinder. What am I watching? Spray comes out from Cinder, and he will go down.
it was a concerning amount of damage right from the get-go when I saw that original peek from short, right? Because that
Yeah.
kind of gave me the inkling of you're giving these pistols a lot of room, and if you're giving pistols room and you're looking at this roster, these are the sort of guys that are just going to shoulder peek you, keep tapping off these shots, and eventually they become headshots.
It's not just that, but when I was trying to cast there, I'm seeing an AK spray into a USP no armor, and I'm saying, you know, Mighty Max has found the frag here, but instead he goes down. I mean, I don't know what I'm watching. How on earth, if they won that round with no armor and only an AWP, I don't think Smooth even got a kill that round with his AWP. It was actually the pistols coming out for CEX. They're winning this round, and that could be the nail in the coffin. It could be the end of the game here if Endpoint lose this and CEX get 14. That's the Molotov.
Endpoint, they're just going for the old faithful. They're barraging out towards the site, but is it going to pay off? Ezio and Aaron, they will hit up the squad together. They find themselves the opening to Emmy to find the third on towards Thomas. Rezu at least will find the dunk in return, but it's not really going to lead to a pretty sight at that. Rezu, the elevator angle, going to be blocked on off. Not too much he can do now. Tapping away, he's ever so consistent with the tapping, and that consistency will net him a reward in the form of Ezio, leaving it to that biting point. They are comfortable to go for things. They are following your word. But can they make things work? The answer is going to be no, because the elevated angle is going to shut things down. Smoothie, he catches off the jumping shot.
There's a kid as well. He can do this, especially because Aaron's just netting that frag. It's good the 1 versus 1. He has so much utility as well. 2 flashes. And Imi's far away. He might not expect if he sticks this. Will he wide face into and throws the molly and faces as well. Smoothie needs to run at him here. No time really as well. He will get the kill, but the Molotov will mean the round win for Endpoint. Actually, will it? 5 HP!
He gets away with it just by calculating the amount of damage he's going to take. Almost a bit of luck, or perhaps even knowledge, but nonetheless, the defuse is going to be taken. The balls, well, Konas, however you want to put it, it is ever so present. And Smooya, this individual player, well, around on the board.
I mean, talk about individual players right now. Thomas, 28 for 14. That's 2 KD for him. Great play from him this map. And then obviously Cinder as well. I mean, they're all playing positive. All people here on the CX side of fragging. Lazar and Aaron, though, not even 10 frags for them yet, just yet. So not the best showing from them, but Aaron here fast up B short. Can he find the early frag and get the entry onto the B bomb site?
The opening pick from Aaron, but Pillar is going to be played, and it's just going to be constant repeak after repeak. He is right at home, ever so comfortable, and it shows. 3 quick frags, and it leaves Ezio back to pitch a tent. Where is he going to set himself down? Is he going to go aggressive and try and push himself forward? Of course, a 1v2 is always on the cards. There's something he can try and work with here, but in the same sort of regard, CX, they're going to play this one safe. They have full control of the bomb. Nothing can really kind of shut them out of that. Molotov, in his back pocket, potentially could be of some sort of aid, but even then, what Molotov does he go for? There's a lot of choices. But no matter where he throws it, there's always going to be another angle left unchecked.
The thing is as well, Ezio is the player you want if you're Endpoint in the clutches. He's such a good clutch player, so good in the 1 versus 2s and the 1 versus 3s. The problem is, this is the first time we've seen him in this clutch situation. Only other time was when it was like a 1 versus 5 and he had to save, and that goes to show maybe the roles on Endpoint aren't working out, but we can talk about that after the game. Ezio though, he's going to need a miracle round here if he wants to save Endpoint from CEX going on to that match point.
Got his work well and truly cut out for him. He goes for the shoulder peek, but it's right in the shroud of the smoke, and even if he would have tried to get some information there, that smoke alone would have completely screwed that one up, let alone the fact that the peek was already being taken by his opposition. Which pretty much brings us back to this point, 15-9. We talked about botched buys, things that are almost attemptful of trying to make the best of a situation, a pretty bleak one at that. Well, the way I look at this right now, the light at the end of the tunnel, it's going to be the utility in the one rifle when they do. The Tech 9s, it's going to be so rough. They've tried to get close time and time again, and CX, they're just getting used to shutting them down now.
Smart, actually. If they do open the door, Smoothie can go for that late crouch peek, or stood up, sorry, stands up. They don't spot him initially, so they maybe peek towards stairs or something, and he catches the player off guard, and will get smoked off. Doesn't want to spray this yet, doesn't want to give away his position. And the setup as well is towards B. Smooth, he's on the fast rotate, spamming through the smoke, letting the T's know that they can't have him. Actually, what?
How does Max get away with that? 2 quick frags in quick succession. Lazar with another on towards the head of Cinder, and just out of thin air, Endpoint, they managed to pull 3 headshots, leaving CX now in a bit of a predicament, one that they should never really found themselves in. But Brody, he's looking to bring this one back. A frag to be found by the UMP of Thomas. And I'm looking at the HP right now of Imi and going, is that actually going to be enough to face off up against this short player? Brody, he's going to just pin this one down ever so comfortable. We'll find the first. The trade will be connected by Ezio, but this leaves him back in this 1v versus 1. You said he was the clutch player. It's not going to happen. 16-9, CX. They make it happen.